Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about projection of a vector upon another vector. So projection. So for example, we have a vector. This is one of our vector. So for example, let beta be our vector. And we have another vector. So let me draw this. And we have another vector alpha. I want to take the projection of alpha upon the vector beta. Informally, you can think that you are just want to take the shadow of the vector alpha upon the vector beta. Okay, which means that if we draw a perpendicular line over here, so if we draw a perpendicular line over here, so this is going to be a 90-degree, then the length of this part will be the projection. So if we find the length over here, this length will be the length of the projection vector. So which one going to be a projection vector? So projection vector will be this part is going to be called the projection of alpha upon the vector beta. So how can we find the projection vector? Or another word, how can we find the projection of alpha upon the vector beta? So for that, so now look over here very carefully. So because this vector, the projection vector is on the same direction as the vector beta, or you can say that this is on the same line of the vector beta. So obviously this new vector, so let me write that the new vector is projection vector is P. So projection vector must be a scalar multiplication of the vector beta. So P must be of the form some C constant or scalar into the vector beta. So this is going to be the projection vector. So what is the unknown quantity over here? You can see that C is the unknown quantity. So we have to find the value of C. So now how can we find the value of C? Now we can use this formula. So here we have a vector. You can see that this is our vector and we can think the perpendicular line as another vector. So this vector, this perpendicular vector, uh, so let me write this down. So we have to find this perpendicular vector. So let me write this is Q. So Q, you can see that the vector Q is perpendicular to the vector beta. So now how can we find the value of Q by expression of alpha and P? Now look over here. So here we have the alpha and here we have P and this is, so let me write over here. So this is something over here. So this is our P over here. This is alpha over here. And this is Q over here. Now we want to express Q by alpha and P. Now we can use the vector formula of vector. Just we do in physics. You can see that the Q going to be uh, P plus Q going to be P, the vector P plus Q. Suppose you think in this way, that's one man standing over here. You have to, he's starting his journey from here and he have to end his journey over here. So he can go in two ways. You can go in direct way by the line of alpha, or he can go by going towards P and then going towards Q. So this is going to be the same. So P plus Q going to be the vector alpha. So from there you can find that Q going to be alpha minus P. Now we know that P is C into B. So it's going to be alpha minus C into B. Now we have already seen from this picture that Q is perpendicular to the vector beta. So because Q is perpendicular to the vector beta, so Q is perpendicular to vector beta, or in linear algebra linear algebra terminology, we can say that Q is orthogonal to the vector beta. And now we know that if these two vectors, if the two vectors are orthogonal to each other, their dot product must be equals to 0, or the inner product must be equals to 0. So let me write that down. Q into beta going to be 0. So by using this formula that Q into beta going to be equals to 0, we will going to find the value of C, and from there we can find the projection vector. So let me find that over. Find. So what we have the projection. Let me write that down. So projection of alpha upon the vector beta is some constant c into beta. And how do we find the c? C is found by this formula, that alpha minus c into beta. So this vector dot the vector beta is going to be equals to 0. Now we can use the inner product rule, the rule of linearity. So you can use the rule of linearity. Then from there we can write that it's just only the follow something like that, that it's going to be alpha dot beta. It's look like the distribution property of scalar. So similarly, you can use this similar type of distribution property for vectors over here. So this is going to be alpha dot beta plus minus c beta dot beta equals to 0. And from there you can write alpha dot beta, and we can take minus c outside of this inner product because this inner product allow this. So minus c into beta dot beta is equals to 0. Now from there we can write alpha dot beta equals to, we just take the term other side of the equation. So it's going to be c into beta dot beta, and from there c going to be alpha dot beta dot beta dot beta. So you can see that we cannot take projection of a vector upon a zero vector. Otherwise, we cannot define the value of c. So obviously, we are taking in such a way that beta is not equals to the zero vector. So let me write down the zero vector is theta. So so we can take projection of a vector upon any non-zero vector, and the projection vector will be, so projection vector or only the projection will be alpha dot beta. The c you can find as c dot beta. So c will be alpha dot beta by beta dot beta, and this is the scalar into the vector beta. This scalar quantity is called the projection component, or only the scalar component, or in some time we just use the word component over here. So this scalar is called the component of projection, or the projection component. Okay, so let's see by an example in 2 dimension. So let me take a vector. So we are talking about an example in 2 dimension. So example, I just want to take a, so for example, we have over here the x-axis, and here we have y-axis. I want to take a vector. So for example, let me take a vector 1, 2. So 1, 2 is a vector in 2 dimension, and this is our vector beta. And we're going to take another vector. So for example, let me take a vector on over the x-axis. So for example, I just take a vector. Suppose this is just 1, 0, and we want to find the projection. So this is our vector alpha. So what we're going to do, we want to find projection of the vector alpha, projection of 1, 0 upon the line, or upon the vector beta, which is 1, 2. So that means that if I draw a perpendicular line, so we have to just find a perpendicular line. If we look at it geometrically, so we have to basically find a perpendicular line over here, and this is going to be our 90 degree. So this length going to be the length of the projection vector or this vector, if we start from over here, so this is our origin, or so this length O, um, this length O from this part, the, let me write over here some P, OP. This OP going to be our projection of alpha upon the vector beta. You can clearly see that. You can think about informally that this is the shadow of the vector alpha in the direction of the vector beta. So now we can use the formula directly to calculate the projection vector. So first of all, we have to find the C. So projection is C into, so projection upon vector. So projection is going to be C into the vector beta. So beta over here is 1, 2. And we know the formula to calculate the value of C. So C is going to be the multiplication of alpha with vector beta. So 1, 0 dot 1, 2 by the multiplication of beta with beta. So 1, 2 dot 1, 2. And we are using the standard inner product over here, so we can use the component wise multiplication. So using the component wise multiplication, we have 1 into 1, so this is going to be 1 plus 0 into 2, so this is going to be 0 by 1 into 1, 1 plus 2 is 4, so this is going to be 1 by 5. So the component, the scalar component of the vector alpha upon the line beta, or the projection component, you can say in different words, different terminology. Alpha can think, the C can be think as a scalar component of the vector alpha upon the vector beta, or you can see that the projection component of alpha upon the vector beta, or you can see that by which you have to basically scaling the vector beta to get the actual length of the shadow of the vector alpha upon the line beta. So 1 by 5, 1, 2. So this is our projection vector. So this is going to be 1 by 5, 2 by 5. So this is our projection vector. So we have to go, which means we have to go 1 by 5 unit in the direction of x-axis, then 2 by 5 unit in the direction of y-axis to get the projection vector. Okay. I hope you understand about the projection of a vector. So instead of 2 dimension, we can think about a projection of a vector in any dimension, any Rn. So we can think of projection of any vector in Rn. So for example, I just want to not talk about the geometry. We cannot draw the geometry in R4, but we can calculate the projection vector. So let me do some example in R4. Example. So find the projection. So here is the problem like that. Find the projection. In the projection of the vector. So let me write 1, -1, 0, 0. So this is a vector in R4. You can see that we have 4 components. Up on the line or on the line, on the vector, just 1, 0, 0, 0. So we have to find the projection of this vector 1, -1, 0, 0 on the vector 1, 0, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0, 0. So here we have to do. So what is going to be the projection vector? The projection vector going to be, we know the formula, the projection going to be the constant C into the upon the vector, we have into the vector on which we have to take the projection. So we're going to write C into 1, 0, 0, 0, because we are taking the projection of this vector upon this line. Now how to calculate the C? C is the formula, we know the formula. C going to be alpha dot beta by beta dot beta. So what is alpha dot beta over here? Alpha is 1, -1, 0, 0, and beta is 1, 0, 0, 0. So C going to be 1, -1, 0, 0 dot 1, 0, 0, 0 by 1, 0, 0, 0 dot 1, 0, 0, 0. And this is going to be, though this is a scalar component wise multiplication. So first component will be multiplied with first, second will be second, third will be with third. So in this way, we'll get the 1 by 1. So this is going to be 1. So this is going to be 1 into 0, 0, 0, 0. So you can see that the projection of this vector upon the line, upon the vector 1, 0, 0, 0 is 1. So the same vector 1, 0, 0, 0. So I hope you understand. So what's going over here? Actually, we can think in such a way that the projection. So let me write down. Let me take another way. So here we can think in this way. So before going to the another next, what we am talking about, let me state another result over here. We can use that result next. After the stating the result, we will explain the more details, the concept of projection and why we need the concept of projection in linear algebra. So let me write that down. So here is the results. So result. So let beta be a vector, beta be so let me write that down. So let me clear this part. So result over here. So no, I just want to take beta after this, taking this part. So let beta 1, beta 2, beta n be an orthogonal set, be an orthogonal set of vectors, orthogonal set of vectors in Rn, and beta is a vector, beta is a vector in the spanning set of the vector beta 1, beta 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta n. So beta belongs to the collection of all linear combination of vectors. So beta can be written as a linear combination of vectors. So but over here we can write something different. So if beta belongs to the spanning set of the vector beta 1, beta 2 up to beta n, then beta can be uniquely expressed. Then we know because beta belongs to the spanning set of this spanning set of the vectors beta 1, beta 2, beta n. So we can write beta as a linear combination of this n vectors. So beta can be written as C1 into beta 1 plus C2 into beta 2. In this way, Cn into beta n. We can write in this way as a linear combination of vectors beta 1, beta 2 up to beta n. But over here, because it's given the set is orthogonal vectors, so we can go one step further, and it says that beta can be written uniquely in this way, and we can find the by using of the projection of the vector, we can find the scalar quantities C1, C2, Cn. So what is going to be the C1? C1 going to be the projection of the vector beta upon the vector beta 1. So C1 going to be beta into beta 1 by beta 1 into beta 1. Similarly, C2 will going to be C2 will going to be the projection of the vector beta upon the vector beta 2. So this is going to be beta dot beta 2 by beta 2 in dot beta 2. So in this way, any Ci, any scalar quantity Ci going to be beta dot beta I by beta I inner product with beta I. So you can see that. So this is the scalar, this is the projection, the component or the scalar component of the vector beta in the direction or upon the vector beta I. So you can write over here. So beta can be written as, so C1 into beta 1 basically, because C1 is a projection component. So C1 into beta 1 going to be the projection of the vector beta, and C2 beta 2 will be the projection of the vector beta upon the line upon the vector beta 2. So you can see that the vector beta can be written as a projection of beta upon the vectors beta 1, beta 2 up to beta n. We already have do such a thing previously. We have we did it this type of thing over here, but over here uh, we are just using the inner product to find the components C1, C2, Ci. So let me look back. So where we have used this type of formula and what is the meaning of this concept. So let me write that down. So we just want to take the R2 and we will work with R2 and then we'll go to R3, R4 and R5. So let me talk about R2. So here we have, suppose this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis, and we are using that, we know that, we already used that, we know that the vector 1, 0, this set of vectors is orthogonal set of vector. 1, 0 and 0, 1, this set, if I take the collection of these two vectors 1, 0 and 0, 1, this set is an orthogonal set. You can see that. Why? If I take the inner product between these two vectors 1, 0 dot 0, 1, you can see that inner product going to be, this is the component wise multiplication. So 1 into 0 going to be 0, 0 into 1 going to be 0. So this is going to be 0. So this set is an orthogonal set of vectors. So 1, 0 and 0, 1 is an orthogonal set of vectors. So we want to write, so we know that, let me write a vector in R2. Also we know that 1, 0 and 0, 1 is a basis of R2. So we can take any vector can be written as a linear combination of these two vectors 1, 0 and 0, 1. So any vector, so if I take a vector 2, 3, this obviously going to belongs to the spanning set of this vector 1, 0 and 0, 1. And we just want, we can write as a linear combination of 2, 3 as a linear combination. We can write 2, 3 as 1 into 1, 0, sorry, 2 into 1, 0 plus 3 into 0, 1. So I just want to check that this 2 is a scalar projection, the scalar component of the vector 2, 3 upon the vector 1, 0 or not, and we want to check. So you can, if I go back to the formula, we have already used that, the formula we stated in the previous result. So this is as C1 into beta 1 plus C2 into beta 2. So 1, 0 is our beta 1 and 0, 1 is our beta 2. C1 is the scalar components of the vector 2, 3 upon the vector. So if when we take the projection of the vector 2, 3 upon the line or the vector beta 1, C2 going to be the scalar components when we take the projection of 2, 3 upon the line beta 2. But we want to verify over here, this is actually true over here or not. So we can use, without any using of any inner product, we can write 2, 3 as 2 into 1, 0 plus 3 into 0, 1. Now we want to check the 2 and 3 are the projection component or the scalar component or not. We want to verify that part. So let me find the projection. So what is 2, 3 over here? So you can see something like over here. So this is our the vector 2, 3, and let me write over here. So this is our 1, 0 vector, and this is our vector 0, 1. So we want to take the projection. So projection means we have to draw the perpendicular line over here, and we'll take this vector as our vector, and this part, the part O, P will be the projection of the vector. So let me write down vector OA. The vector OA upon the lines 1, 0 or upon the vector 1, 0. So or I just want to use the formula of projection to find that down. So over here, so let me find the projection of 2, 3 upon 1, 0. So projection of 2, 3 upon 1, 0. So let me erase this part, and so projection of 2 3 upon 1 0 going to be 10.23, or just you can write 23.10 by 10.10. So this is the scalar component into the vector 10. So what is the scalar component? So 10. So you can see that this is a component-wise multiplication. So 2 plus 0 into 3, so going to be 2, and from there this is going to be 1 into 1 0. Now you can see that 2 into 1 0, which is same as, so this is same as this part. So as we write 2 3 as this linear combinations, you can see that we can use the inner product formula to, or the projection formula to find that down. Similarly, if I find a projection of 2 3 upon 0 1, we can find the same way. So what is the geometry we are doing over here? We just taking the component of the vector by using the projection. We can take the component so of the vector 2 3 upon the direction of 1 0. Also you can take the component, the vector component of 2 3 upon the 0 1. If we take, so if we add that components, we will get the vector 2 3 actually, which means that if we think informally, you have to, which means that suppose one man is going from here, start a journey from here, he can go directly by this line OA, or which is same as if he's go by component wise, which means he have to go the component direction 1 0, so in the direction of OP, then he can go in the direction of PA. Also you can think in this way, so we can write any way. So 1 0 or 0 1, instead of 1 0 0 1, we can take any vector. So let me take the another example, and from there we can look back to the definition, so and verify the concept or the results. So here is an example. So prove that the set of vectors, so let me write that down, so just change the color. Prove that the set of vectors of vectors 1 2 2 comma 2 minus 2 1 and 2 1 minus 2 is an orthogonal basis, So this is going to be a basis and as well as an orthogonal set. That's called orthogonal basis of R3, and with the standard inner product, obviously we are talking about the standard inner product, and express the vector as a linear, express the vector 4 3 2 as a linear combination, of these three vectors, combination of this vector, combination of this basis vector. So first of all, we have to check that this set is a form of basis, and this set as an orthogonal set. So orthogonal basis means orthogonal as well as a basis. And then if we use the results, we know that any vector, if we, because 4 3 2 is a vector in R3, and if this set of vectors, is a basis, so this vector can be expressed as a linear combination is above set of vectors, or you can say that 4 3 2 belongs to the spanning set of these vectors, which means that you can express that 4 3 2 is uniquely as a linear combination of above three vector using the formula of projection. So we want to check, or we want to verify that results over here. So I just want you to make sure that you understand the concept and you can solve it by yourself. And in my next video, if you do not solve that problem, so please come back in my next video. In my next video, I'll talk about the solution procedure to solve this problem. So thank you for watching.